What up, Blackish fam? How is everything? I hope all is well in your corner of the world. Good to be back. It's December. We're getting into the holiday season. You can see I got my tree right here. And, we're going to get back into a high level of different reactions. I wanted to return to Lil Darkie. Lil Darkie is someone that my son listens to a lot. And at first, I heard Lil Darkie, and I'm like, "Yo, is this cat legit in blackface?" Don't tell me this cat's in blackface, but he's got a little kick behind his lyrics. It can be somewhat hard to listen to, but my son swears he's got some substance. We did another song. I listened to a couple. I did a video, Lil Darkie with Dad. And a lot of people seem to like his music, so I wanted to check him out a bit more. And my son recommended this song, Big War. So normally we like to do the more in-depth, more substance. So let's see what this cat got. But see, I don't know. I don't get down with the whole blackface. You're gonna have to win me over on that. That looks mighty disrespectful for where I'm come from. But let's give him a shot, man. I'll give this cat the benefit of the doubt because I've heard some good things. Let's check him out here. And we got the lyrics, of course. Oh, is he actually saying stuff? I should put my headphones on. Maybe I don't have those on. He's saying Wendigo? Wendigo, that's such a weird, you don't really hear that anymore. When people say Wendigo, back in my day, that used to be like a cannibal or a cannibalistic giant, is the technical term for it. It's like a monster that's been consumed, and they have this, like, I don't know if it's necessary that they eat human flesh, but it's definitely a monster. And, I like to always, when we do reactions, I like to go more in depth. And there's a lot of symbolism. When you think of a Wendigo, right, what does it symbolize? It used to be believed that a Wendigo was a spirit of winter. And it was something that was something that also showed selfishness. I'm not sure how he's using it. He's Wendigo. Have you seen my effing lighter? But again, that's normally is you could normally think of a monster who has a taste for human flesh. Whoa, I did not expect that. Now, this is very similar. It's been a few weeks, but we did a song that seems somewhat similar. I heard him say Allah's friends. Now, I do believe I've heard that he is Muslim. But let's just run that back a bit here. Okay, so he said, I did it, I can do it again. Right? He said, I run up, then I detonate. Right? You detonate a bomb. Bring your end. Basically saying, I'll kill you. Send shots at your temple. Right? That's the immediate kill. Send shots at the temple that you defend. Or he could be saying the temple as in like, it looks like this is called Big War. Right? Our temple would be what? The White House, the Capitol building. Or he could be thinking like an Islamic, like a mosque. But he said, send plates if you're fucking with Allah's men's. Allah, for the Quran, it refers to Allah as the Lord of the worlds, right? It's actually pretty interesting when you look into stuff like this because according to Islamic statements of witness, or what they call I believe it's called the Shahada, right? They say there is no God but Allah. So Muslims believe that he created the world I think it's 6 days as opposed to the Christian 7, if I'm not mistaken. Religion is not my strong point, but he sent prophets like Noah, Abraham, Moses, David, right? Jesus, and then Muhammad. No, that's a little bit of history on when he says Allah. It looks like that's what he's talking about. He's referring to the Islamic religion. Let's run it back. How do you dance to this? Right, what are the kids doing? Okay. Ooh. Wow. I did not expect that. Right? What did he say? He said made in the US, made by the USA, bitch. And then he said the head of your country is a bumbling racist. So I would imagine this isn't a new song. It looks like it's 2 years old. But I would imagine he's talking about Donald Trump, right? He said a drone took my family and he still won't say shit. Maybe he's not apologizing for the casualties of war, right? He said behead him on camera. That's something that ISIS is known for, to display their faces. He said Allahu Akbar, right? When somebody says that means God is great, God is greatest. But it's typically something that they say before destruction or before they believe they're going to go meet their maker. So if someone has a vest on, most people know that phrase because they Allah Akbar, right? And boom. And then they know when they hear that shit's about to go down, right? So here, let's just run it back a little bit. And man, I did not his flow. It's cool. It's different, but I don't know if I'm really vibing with it yet. Let's let it ride.
You cannot be hard, causing a jihad. All of my brothers in the suicidal jihad. Grip on an AK, here I'm 72 virgins. Cocking my beta, it is my time now, ready to die loud.
Alright, I gotta run that back. What the fuck was that?
On the walk part, you cannot be hard, causing a jihad. All of my brothers. You are not hard, blow up a cop car, jetting through desert, you be slowing on the walk part, you cannot be hard, causing a
Okay, let's break down some of that. He said, all you are not hard, right? Blow up a cop car, I think we all get that, jetting through the desert, so it sounds like, I don't know that he's necessarily a U.S. military, it sounds like he might be fighting for the opposite side. He said, you be slowing on the walk hard. Now, Walk Hard, that's a global pharmaceutical. It's like a biotech company that's headquartered in Mumbai, India. They produce biopharmaceutical stuff, nutrition products, but they're also very well known for vaccines and some of the ingredients that pharmaceutical companies use. I know a lot of people don't know that. But he said, you cannot be hard, causing a jihad. Now, what he's saying there, that's a struggle or a fight, right? That's a struggle or a fight specifically against the enemies of Islam, right? If you're saying, like, you would say he declared a jihad against the infidels, right? That's something they would say there. But let's let it ride a bit.
All of my brothers in the suicidal jihad, grip on an AK, here I'm 72 virgins, cocking my beta, it is
yeah, now he's talking about being Muslim, right? Or is talking about the Nation of Islam or Islamic beliefs, right? Basically, everyone that God admits into what they consider paradise will be married to 72 wives, right? That's what the saying is. They're beautiful and they're all virgins. And you can get eternal satisfaction, physical satisfaction, right? So they talk about that when you hear somebody say, what is it, Allah Akbar, right? They're not afraid to die because they believe that paradise awaits them. And again, I'm not a religious scholar, but it sounds like this is very religious and political in nature.
The walk part, you cannot be hard, causing a jihad. All of my brothers in a suicidal jihad. Grip on an AK, here I'm saying 72 virgins. Cocking my beta, it is my time, not ready to die.
It definitely gets you hyped though, right? Be at a protest just wilding out. He said Sharia, right? A lot of you are probably familiar with what they call Sharia law. But you might be asking, what do Muslims mean when they say Sharia, right? Like he just said in the song. Now in Islam, it refers to like what they would consider a divine council. Muslims follow this to live what they consider moral lives, right? And that's how they get closer or they grow closer to God. So Sharia is derived from two main sources. You always have the Quran, which is considered the direct word of God, and then something called hadith. That's like thousands of sayings and practices that are attributed to the Prophet Muhammad that collectively form I believe it's called the Sunnah. And again, don't quote me on this because I'm not a very religious person in nature. I happen to be somewhat knowledgeable. I used to have some roommates that would pray multiple times per day. They used to pull out their prayer rug and keep the prayer schedule on the fridge. And it varies because I would have some friends that they won't touch liquor. You spill liquor and they will legit jump because they can't touch it, but they're smoking weed the whole time. It's like, what? I don't get it, or they don't drink, and my buddy would go to the bar and drink milk with you, but they own a liquor store. So I don't know. I don't get all of it, obviously, right? But here, let's run it back. Right? It's usually used to politely ask Muslim women to wear the hijab. Right? You ever see the hijab? It covers their head. It covers a lot of their skin. I believe it comes from an Arabic term called al-hijab, meaning to cover or cover. It's a cloth that really just covers a woman's head, neck, and chest. And they're supposed to wear it, and again, don't quote me, but I believe you wear it when you're around the presence of other men. Not sure if they have to wear it in the house. That's something, feel free to correct me if you're knowledgeable. I can't get my body hard. He's in the Middle East. He said, who we looted? Damn. he's going hard with this and a different than most rap. It's talking about killing random people. He's being very specific. He's a fucking infidel, right? Again, this is a person who does not believe in religion, or believes in a religion other than theirs. I believe, again, don't quote me on that. So it's like they wanted to secure the holy places from the infidel. It's something you hear very often. I imagine that's what he's getting at here. Now he's talking about Guantanamo Bay, right? When he talks about an island cell, Guantanamo Bay is a detention camp. It's a United States military prison, but it's located on the Guantanamo Bay Naval Base. So it's sometimes called Gitmo because the initials are GTMO. But it's actually, I believe it's right in Cuba, or technically Cuba. Funny thing, my stepson was actually a National Guard. He was stationed there for a year, military police out there dealing with some of that. So somewhat familiar. Ooh, all right. It always sounds like he's screaming. The beat change, right?
We're going to kill some Arabs.
Hoorah, right? So sounds like he might be giving a different perspective here, right? He's doing the U.S. military call. He did the hoorah, and he also said, "Everybody lay down. Tango's inbound." Now, tango, some people might ask, why does the military call enemies tango? Tango down. It's like what you would call military slang, right? It's something called the NATO phonetic alphabet. It was established way in the early 1900s, I believe 1930, definitely before 1940. But the letter T is technically tango, and it became slang for target or enemy. So to down a target is to shoot them, but you're normally talking about grounding an aircraft. You're neutralizing or killing them. But that's where it comes from. It comes from that NATO alphabet. And that's why they say tango. That kind of sound like, where did they come from? Where did they go? Where did they come from? Canajo. I don't know what the rest of it is. Damn, this boy be going hard. He said bag and tag 'em. When you bag and tag 'em, it's, I guess the terminology means to package an item for delivery or for movement, but the original meaning is with the army or the military. It's the movement of a dead body. When you bag and tag 'em, bagging refers to like wrapping a dead body in a body bag, and the tag 'em is when you actually put a toe tag on a dead body, and that's to identify them. See, the eagle fly is very symbolic as well for freedom. Yeah, that's U.S. military. Lift, 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 right, lift. It's just a marching to lift, lift, left, right, left. It coordinates your rhythm. So he's talking about the U.S. military now. It definitely sounds like he's giving two different perspectives. Maybe their perspective and then a U.S.-based perspective. Let's listen.
Right, left, hit him with that pipe breath. Good. Now drop and give me 20, soldier. Yes, sir. That's right. Now give me another one. You have way back and right now. That was your land, but now it's my land. I'm very happy that you're in pain. Yes, that was your land, but now it's my land. I'm very
You know, as crazy as it sounds, there's a lot of logic behind this. There's a lot of meaning behind this. Because, you know, the U.S., we're not told a lot of what happens with wars, right? We might think that, for instance, after 9/11, right, George Bush wanted to go into Iraq because of 9/11, right? They knocked down the towers. Well, technically, most of the people that were associated with 9/11 were from Saudi Arabia, not Iraq. But then he said, no, they have weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. We have to invade Iraq. We invaded. We never found weapons of mass destruction. Can we say that maybe you had a grudge against Saddam Hussein because he tried to kill your dad? I don't know. Or are we going in there to try to take over and take control of their oil reserves? And that's what he's saying here, right? He's saying, this was your land, now it's my land. I'm very happy that you're in pain. He's talking like how the U.S. military, and a lot of times I think they don't really think they're soldiers, right? They're not planning. They're just kind of boots on the ground. And he's saying, we want your oil, right? Under the white sand, we're sending men to put some bullets in your brain. It's really saying there's a long history. A lot of people will say the U.S. has really been a bully. Yeah, there's a lot of international peace and a lot of good that they do, but we really try to bully certain areas to get control of resources that might be lacking where we are. Or put our own people in positions of power in other parts of the world.
He might play. I run up on your brother, I'm dumping in a day. I'm dumping on these niggas, they can't even say me. I'm special operations, we a special population. She's taking over areas and setting up a station where we basing our location, information on the nation in relation to you niggas. We a hostile occupation. Bad reputation. Discrimination causing hella separation. Transportation prohibiting your migration cause a piece of legislation won't get to your destination. You under investigation.
That bad. Talking about war, right? The beat change again. I wonder if this is a different perspective or a continuation or jumping back. Right? The beat change signifies going a different route.
Oh no, not again! Yeah. Makes you really want to know what the fuck is really going on in this place. I'm crazy! Somebody listen to me! We're tired of fighting your battles, not cattle, the snake and it rattle, don't tread on me, the true American.
So it sounds like he's not, the first perspective was a perspective of seemed like a soldier from the Middle East. The second verse was a soldier in the U.S., right? Going in, tango down, going in, stealing resources, dominating an area that they choose, whatever area they choose. And it sounds like this perspective might be who he said, don't tread on me, right? That's what you see behind every America, right? He said the true American. He said, we're tired of fighting your battles, right? So I think he's talking about this might be from a U.S. person or maybe a U.S. government, but it sounds like a hyper-aware American person.
There again, I won't go back. Fuck your wars for money, for economy. Autonomy is dying, and a lot of me believes it. Leave it in the past, keep buying more gas, keep starting your wars, keep sending more tours to Afghanistan and Taliban. Hand to hand and fighting now another state is at increase in demand for weapons manufacturers to capture us, reactors in the east. Our nation sending shit to rapture on track to right folks that old pasture, feeling fracture from the folks that live as actors in LA, and that's a fact. How the crackers in the black.
Oh, that's quite significant. He said he's feeling fractured from the folks that live as actors in LA, and that's a factor. How the crackers and blackers and the darkies in between ain't gonna do shit if we hang everyone, right? It's the people that are silent that are the biggest issue. They let the government do whatever they please, and we're all kind of unfortunately fall into that group because there's only so much that we can do. But I like that he does have a message here. Am I a fan of what he puts out? I like the message. It's definitely more intellectual than it sounds at first. But the style might not be for me. I'm 40 years old, right? So this is definitely something the younger generation is listening to. But it does sound like he's getting the majority of his facts right. Let's let it ride a bit.
Is in the darkies in between gonna do shit if we hate everyone who got a different stature. What you mean? 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 What you mean, bitch?
If we hang everyone who's got a different point of view.
Our taxes to generate means of harm. Scream the alarm, they got us on farms. Let's sell some more arms. Let's make some more weapons. Keep stepping in places you do not belong. Keep singing our songs, go right others wrong. And Chinese products, cause you're supposed to love us. There's nothing above us but stars in the sky. Kids addicted to bars, they get high. Pharma supply, make our will to live die. But join the military 17 years, y'all. I know 21-year-olds who bitch and let they cheers run. I know grown niggas that ain't never been near guns. You fucked around and died and undecided when we're done. Eagle Scout, Eagle Scout.
Eagle Scout is the highest you can get in the Boy Scouts. My nephew, who's here, spent his entire life in the Boy Scouts. And when he graduated, he became an Eagle Scout. You get a lot of benefits towards college or joining the military. And then it looks like he rhymed that with Deagle Shout. Deagle, I believe he's talking about a Desert Eagle gun.
Don't tread on me, I'm an Eagle Scout. Keep lead on me, let the Deagle shout. My dead homies told me weed 'em out. Post up low key like I see a crowd. Big war, big war, big war, big war.
They need to play this at a Bernie Sanders rally as he's coming out. Let everybody vibe.
Attention! I'd like to have a moment of silence for all of the niggas that perished last year in the fucking game. All the niggas that gave the fuck up. All the niggas that wasn't good enough. All the niggas who died in battle, I salute you now.
2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. So it definitely sounds like the first perspective was he was either an ISIS member or he was a military member from the opposite side, not the U.S. point of view. The second part, he was in the army, right? He had the whole Uncle Sam mentality. And then the third part, it sounded like he was not just an American citizen, kind of caught in between the two, but it also sounds like he realized how dumb war is, but he might be disillusioned based on what he's hearing about the war. Definitely more intellectual than I thought. I didn't think we would have to get into some of these more political side of the breakdown with this, but not bad. I definitely check out a little bit of, more of Lil Darkie's music. I hope you guys appreciate the breakdown. If you're here to listen to the song, this is probably not the best channel for you. I like to do in-depth breakdowns where we're breaking down the meaning of certain things that might not be common knowledge. So I'll definitely get into some more Lil Darkie. Glad to be back on the channel and getting some more reactions out. Look forward to the next one.